Smith Welding. I'm Adam Niffen, I'm your host. Stroll around the shop with us. Check out what we got in here today. It's always fun and interesting. You kind of see that. It's like a bar napkin sketch. It'll work though. I discussed this with the owner. He wanted these members 2 inches. I said that's too substantial. We'll lower them down. I mean, 2 inches of that. We'll lower them down to 1 inch. It's supposed to have an interior dimension of 1 inch, and we did away with this frame across the top because once you glue what it is a windshield frame for the Sandrail. Let's start there. Sandrail windshield frame. That's what I'm working on right now. So dealing with the owner, I went ahead and we discussed just doing it with the top frame. The top frame is useless once you glue the glass in, right? Right. Okay, good. My bandsaw, as much as it pains me to say, it's at the old shop. It's back at home. So what I'm making that out of, what I'm going to end up doing is all the sides and the bottom, and then I'm going to end up taking and drilling holes where the 3 bolts go. 3 bolts are going to be round rod. Probably going to end up using this, I want to say it's either 1/4 inch or 5/16 round rod, and then I'll thread it. I found a bunch of nuts in storage that'll work for this. I'll actually drill holes in the bottom channel and get it set up with the 3 pieces of round rod, and I'll rosette weld them from the inside. I'll rosette weld those from the inside, and then we'll put a gasketing material, a one side adhesive gasket material on that, so when he drills the holes and bolts it to the Sandrail, it will it'll take and do what it's supposed to without destroying the paint job on the Sandrail. I didn't come up with the measurements. I'm building what I'm told. I've got concerns it's going to fit correctly, so we'll see. The owner will let us know. We'll have this built. Probably have it built by the end of the day today, maybe even painted. Bandsaw, old shop, back to the story at hand. So what I'm ending up doing is I want to get as much out of my material as I can. This is 1.25 inch, 14 gauge tubing. So it's got that 14 gauge gives us a 1 inch interior diameter. I just cut the rough lengths. I'll miter the corners and everything. I'm gonna end up cutting them with a hand saw. My cutoff saw is second best, let's just say that. I scribe a line using a combination square and a piece of soapstone. I actually tape the soapstone because I'm going to drop this, it's going to break. Might as well keep it useful as long as possible. You drop just a piece of soapstone on the floor, that right there would be in 30 pieces. With tape, it'll break in a couple pieces and whatever. So I'm going along and I'm just grooving it, taking very slowly and grooving it. There's going to be slight aberrations on a wave this way. I can deal with that with a belt sander later and dress it, and then use a file to dress that. So I'm cutting this top wall, or one wall, off the tubing. From there, I'll get some 45s mitered. I'll dry fit everything, see how it fits. I'm going to burn it real hot and get good penetration so I can dress that completely and it disappears. So, quick project, Sandrail, windshield frame. It looks like there's going to be a lot more done to the Sandrail than what we left it as. They did some more fabricating on it. They're upgrading things that they discovered they needed to upgrade. I don't really know. Not my project, not my deal. We'll see that when it comes back in. I'll check in here in a little bit. I'm going to get all the pipe cut so it's channel iron. I'll show you the weldment, how I'm going to fit that up, and how I'm going to put the bolts in it. We'll go from there. Alright, so I actually clamped the thing square to the table so I could pull everything in and get it squared up. So got rosettes inside there. I went ahead and knocked the heads of the rosettes down, but I didn't take any of the meat out of the weld. At this point, I gotta clean up the inside edges, like right here. Alright, we're gonna clean that up. I'm gonna use a diagram to clean all that up. See the mounting point, come out super clean. It's come out super clean, which is exactly what we want. These edges, we went ahead and metal finished. Looks super good. It will get degreased, knocked down, primered, and then painted the blue that the Sandrail is. That's all I'm going to show you on this. Like I said, I'll clean up the edges, take and file those corners out nice and square.